So there have been quite a few changes to Warzone in Season 5, but not all of them were in the patch notes. It's almost like that's where you would explain the things you've changed in the game. We of course have the train station, and stadium changes, but there's also a lot of other changes you should know about that again may not have been mentioned. An easier way to get to the top of the dam, the prison, and a bunch of other places. Changes to the loot and armor, new events, and buyback changes. I'll talk about all these changes in this video, and if you find it useful, consider subscribing so you don't miss future videos. Starting off with one that has been left out of the notes, and that is every single player will drop at least one armor plate. If a gunfight with someone goes down to the wire and you both deplete your armor, at least now you'll be in a better position than running around without any armor at all. This did used to happen previously, but it wasn't always guaranteed. Now it is. This will help a lot in the beginning of the game during hot drops, as well as when playing plunder when you drop in on someone and take them out. Speaking of armor, there was always the annoying issue of an armor plate healing just a tiny sliver per use if you took barely any damage to a bar. Now, as it turns out, if you have less than 10 damage done to your armor plate, using one will refill that sliver of damage, as well as the next bar completely. Basically, the armor plates can heal between 50 and 60 damage depending on how much is taken off the second bar. This is still a terrible way to do this in my opinion. It should just be a flat 50 armor healed, which would just refill one bar entirely and push the partially broken bar to the right. The next thing is a change to the cost of both self-revive as well as buying back your teammates. Both of these have been reduced from $4,500 to a flat $4,000. This isn't a huge change, but it should make returning to the fight a bit easier for everyone. The fourth change is a bit strange to me, but basically juggernauts have become part of standard battle royale. The events that can happen like jailbreaks, supply drops, and fire sale. Well, now 3 juggernaut suits can also drop in the middle of a game. You get the notification on your screen, and then you see 3 locations that they'll be spawning near. This can be a problem because when this event activates, the lobby has usually already died down quite considerably. I've seen endgames where it's 3 juggernauts versus 1 non-juggernaut, and there is almost no chance of winning. There can easily be less than 40 players left when they drop, so I wish this event specifically, if left in, would happen earlier in the match, so people have a chance to take out those juggernauts. GULAG weapons have once again been updated, and now they will apparently rotate out every week to introduce new weapons to try and keep it fresh. Honestly, why not just make it entirely random every single time, so then people don't know what they're going to get? I'd take that over having to use snipers for an entire week. All Warzone loot has been updated. It's been so long since they've refreshed the loot, I don't have a complete list, but I do know there are no more fouls on the ground. Bruins now appear pretty commonly around the map, and chest loots all seem to be changed as well. I see shotguns far more often than I like, but I'm also seeing P90 and Uzi as well. I think they really need to tone down the number of Bruins that are found around the map, because it's obviously one of the most overpowered and overused weapons already. They missed an opportunity to add a white AN-94 to the ground, because while it's good, it's not great without attachments. Even the ISO dropping on the floor would have been a great idea. This is Season 5. Where are the Season 5 weapons? The next addition is a big change for all of the tall buildings or hard to access areas. This is done by adding external grapples to the side of buildings, but I think one of the most important of these is the one located in the dam. You can actually make it from the bottom of the dam to the top now without having to worry about the trick spot and essentially climbing up a mountain. At the bottom of the dam, they actually opened up this back hallway. It snuck a grapple in through this crack in the wall. It's by far the easiest way to get to the top of the dam now, or to the bottom if you don't want to parachute down. There's also 3 of these added to the airport, which makes getting to the top of airport far easier now. Unfortunately, they didn't add one of these to the airport tower. I feel like that would have been really useful against tower campers. These can also be utilized at the prison, which was also difficult to ascend before this. And of course, downtown is chocked full of these on all of the tall buildings. It seems like they're actually very aware of the feedback on their map design for Warzone. One of the biggest complaints has been the ability to actually get to people that have holed up in these locations. The final change I want to mention is the return of the keycards to allow access to bunkers in addition to the keycards added to the stadium as part of that Easter egg. If you've ever found a red keycard before Season 5, those are actually removed from the game at some point without explanation, and they've re-added them for Season 5. It's kind of strange, but maybe they aren't done with the bunker Easter egg quite yet. That's going to be all for this video. These might not be all of the changes that have been made this season, just the ones that I've learned about. And I'm sure there will be a few others. This is the problem with not having exhaustive patch notes. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.